I have been asked by some of my students and teachers that there should be some series of videos on which how we can increase our stock of vocabulary has been asked. So I thought that during my teacher's time, I used to adopt a method called using of the collocations, taking one particular word. What are the other words that will go with that particular word? So that not only that particular word, we will be learning so many other adjectives, adverbs and verbs which are associated with that word. So that is one very good technique in which our stock of vocabulary can phenomenally increase. And the question comes that why we should have a good stock of vocabulary. The reason is, Mark Twain once said, the difference between the right word and the almost right word is like the difference between the lightning and the lightning bug. So the use of correct vocabulary in correct place, appropriate place is like a lightning that is to be done. So let us see that why do we need a good stock of vocabulary. Today I will organize this video. First I will give you some inputs on why students or teachers or people who want to be good in their communication, formal, informal, writing, oral, should have a good stock of vocabulary as a first part. Then, as I said, under the enriching vocabulary, through collocation we will start to learn some words and some associated words with them. I will try to select a stock of words which are often used in our life. With that, what are the other words go in collocation with? So that if I go for some 200, 300 words, then the stock of vocabulary will increase to a very big level. So let us see that how it comes out, and based on that some more parts can be taken. But I will take per day one word. So we should have a good stock of vocabulary for these reasons. One is that to improve our reading comprehension. See, if we read, our wisdom increases, knowledge increases, our content increases, and our confidence level increases when we have to address people or to write something. So reading comprehension, literary reading, literary selection of books, that requires a good stock of vocabulary so that our comprehension will be good. Then to communicate our ideas, sometimes you will see that people will be fumbling. They won't be able to complete the sentences, they won't be getting the word, there will be a silence for a pretty long time, and then they will put a word which is often repeated, or we call it as hackneyed vocabulary, often used or overused. So we cannot communicate properly. So to communicate our ideas exactly, briefly and perfectly, you need a stock of vocabulary so that you can take the word and put in that place, so your communication becomes perfectly alright. Then for formal writing, we cannot be very casual in our formal writing, in our examinations, as well as when we write report or we are writing letters or we are assessing some people, whatever it is. Formal writing should have the official vocabulary and proper, appropriate, accurate words have to be used in proper places, so that if you have a good stock of vocabulary, the formal communication also becomes good. Then brevity. Our communication should be brief. If we don't have the appropriate words with us, we try to convert one word into a sentence to make the people understand it. So that is not the proper way. In the initial stages when we start speaking or writing, that's okay, but always it cannot be. So that if we have the correct word, it can reduce the length of the sentence, it can reduce even the number of words that we use, so that a good amount of vocabulary that we possess will add to our brevity also. As Shakespeare said, brevity is the soul of wit. Then, nowadays in occupational success, your formal writing skills, your formal speaking skills are very much essential. Very much essential in your professional life. So that it would be good that if we have a good amount of vocabulary with us, and ultimately your speech becomes very impressive because you communicate clearly, you communicate sharply, your brain becomes very fertile, it supplies you correct, appropriate and accurate vocabulary so that you can deliver very effectively. For effective speech, you need good amount of vocabulary. Then its style, the style enhances. If you see very good orators, whether it is Swamiji, Vivekananda or Winston Churchill or even the appointed day of Sri Jawaharlal Nehru, Radhakrishnan, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnanji's writings, if you see, the word cannot be replaced with any other word. So that is the style. So that type of style we have to imbibe. Then to be very precise, which is somewhere nearer to the brevity. Precisely communicate. We want to precisely communicate something, what is there in our mind, in our thought, and expressive of our emotions. Actually, we need the words which connote those type of feelings. So today we will see the word silence and what are the other words that will go with it. Normally, students and teachers use this word in their classrooms more, where they say keep silence or there is utter silence, like that. So there are many words which will be collocating with the word silence. So like prolonged silence. There was absolute silence in the hall. There was dead silence in the room. Embarrassing silence. The silence was very embarrassing. Uneasy silence prevailed in the city. He looked at me in an uncomfortable silence. A stony silence. A sudden silence descended. A sudden silence prevailed. Shattered the silence. A thundering noise shattered the silence. There was a moment's silence before he replied. We sat in a complete silence. We sat in a complete silence, except the ticking of the clock. A deathly silence hung over the town. The rest of the trip passed in relative silence. Her comments were met with a stunned silence. An awkward silence followed. The radio was silenced. She maintained a stony silence. Clark's voice penetrated the silence. The boys were stunned into silence by this news. A minute's silence for the victims will be observed. She filled the silence with music. A sudden silence fell over the room. Silence reigned. A heavy silence lingered in the air. A stunned silence greeted the announcement. They ate their breakfast in silence. They observed 2 minutes silence to remember the war dead. Countries throughout Europe held a 3 minutes silence. The government's only response has been a deafening silence. He maintained a dignified silence. Silence surrounded us. Like this, we can make our style of speech as well as writing by using collocations. I have given you some examples of collocations, the words that will go with the silence. And like this, I am planning to select some words which we normally use in our day-to-day life, which will be useful in our examination, in our formal writing, etc. I hope that this is one way of enriching our vocabulary. So, kindly share this with the stakeholders, the children who are interested, teachers and other way. I am damn sure that it would be definitely useful. Thank you.